Hello, Commanders, and welcome to the RNG Endgame, a podcast about the game Marvel Strike Force. Your hosts are Frid and Creative. We're leaders in an alliance from a large cluster, and would like to share our insights with you to hopefully improve your gameplay and overall experience, and give you a little entertainment.
All right, Creative, we're back after a bit of a week break for another episode, number 71. And we're going to start with a review today from DQ Photo. It says, very informative, great source of information about the game. While the hosts are definitely end-game players, new and mid-game players will get useful information about MSF. So thank you for that. Really appreciate the reviews. As you know, with Apple's mystery algorithm, this is the way that it helps us be visible. So I am glad that you find information as a newer or mid-game player. Sometimes we really try to focus on that, but I think that hearing what's next, right? What some of the end game players are struggling with would help you regardless, because that's where you're gonna go. So appreciate that. I'm glad you're getting some use out of it. Keep telling your family and friends to come listen. All right, Creative, I think you have something here that you wanted to add.
Yeah, so a few corrections. It's been a while since we've gone back and kind of claimed we goofed, even though we do it every episode. And so one of the things I kept, saying on some of the previous episodes, and it does feel like it has been a while. It's been, several weeks because I was on vacation and you've got some things going on. So for those that pinged us as to, where we are, apologies on the delay. We are back now. But I kept saying I can't, Moon Dragon has not shown up in the Red Star promotion store, and that was because she wasn't there. Neither was Phyla. I keep forgetting, we get so many in-game emails of someone's going to the orbs and someone's going here. I just didn't realize that they had not been there. But both Phyla and Moon Dragon have now been officially added to the store. Of course, I still have not seen Moon Dragon because that's the one character I need. So thanks to Dubs for that, Dubs 420 for that. But those characters are now out there. The other thing, just as a side note, normally when we face some of my old alliances or some of the alliances that I know, and it's an off war, I do reach out to those folks and let them know, hey, it's an off war for us. Enjoy the free win. And I did that the other day to Ragnarok Wrecking Crew. I failed to say a few things, and so if any of those guys are listening, they're good guys, and apologies that I told them they'd have a free win, and then they didn't get the win. But we do clear every opponent. I can't remember the last time we haven't cleared anyone, and then we still do have a few people that buy some attacks, but they went a little bit slower, I think, than our leadership wanted, and I was on vacation. So apologies to those folks. Hopefully they've forgiven me. No hard feelings, or hopefully there's no hard feelings on that. So
take your free win, except you're not going to take your free win.
Well, they didn't even clear us, which I found kind of surprising. But anyway, so hopefully they're not too mad at me. But again, good folks over there, and apologies for that. So I am prohibited from telling people that it's an off war anymore, as that did not work out terribly well, or at least created more confusion than it should. But anyway, so let's switch gears and go to Frid's favorite part of the show, talking about his roster with gearing and leveling.
That's right, what we're all here for. So it's been a couple weeks. So Beast, I finished Beast. Remember, Justice for Beast.
Wow!
Finally, 7-star Beast. Woo!
Man.
Then Mr. Shatterstar was at 298 out of 300 for what feels like an eternity after probably the last Gamma or whatever, or maybe there was a Blitz, whatever it was. He's been sitting there, and I've opened everything that you can think of, and he would never show up until today. I got him from the new and maybe improved Milestone 2 orb. So Shatterstar is now 7 stars as well. I am maybe 20 shards away from Longshot to have the bros both at 7.
Wow, so that's impressive.
Yeah, and they do a good job in the Doom raid, so it's good to have them. Kitty Pride kept showing up everywhere, and what was she? Battle Pass or Strike Pass? Whatever she was. And so she's 6 stars now. Not too exciting there, but then Misty Knight got to 5. I think she was the Strike Pass or the Battle, whatever it was. I have 5 reds on Misty, so that's good with the update to Gamma as well as War. That was it from stars. I did open red stars for Sharon Carter. I got 4 on her. I opened red stars for Sam, Captain Sam. I got 4 on him. And in this process, I got 5 reds on Blob, Elektra, and She-Hulk. So, and not the best, but not the
Those are
worst.
solid characters, though.
They're decent, right?
Those
They're
are
part
solid
of
members of their team, and still, they're not top tier, but they're still meta characters for sure.
Yeah, a big She-Hulk can be a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Elektra contributes to Shadowland, and Blob, obviously, he's a big part of Brotherhood 2.0. So, could have been worse, right? No complaints here. I didn't go overboard. I did open quite a bit for Sam, looking for the 5, but realizing that he is Strike Pass and he will be 2 stars for who knows how long, I'm not too worried about that. And then also today, I got to 13 million collection power.
Wow. Can you think about, I still remember you sending me a screenshot of like your 250 defenders, and I thought you were the bee's knees.
250 defenders, wow. They're probably still there. Well, no, after, I guess, Heroes for Hire, they've gotten a little bigger. But, yeah, and I think it said my strongest team is 800. So that was also kind of weird. But it's not a real team, but you take the 5 biggest characters and 800K, that's a lot.
Yep.
A lot of this was those upgrades I talked about, but there's also a bunch of ISO that I did. So I've taken most of the Infinity Watch to Blue ISO 3. I'm waiting on one thing for Moondragon, and then the same thing for Adam Warlock. But everybody else is 3. So, they're so important for Arena that might as well do that. I also, I think, did Black Bolt to 5 green. I hadn't done him. So he's a big character with 7 red stars. And I still use him on the bio boss, the baby bio boss. Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, I got to 13. I will get him to 14, I believe, just to be a little speed bump in War, although they're not what they're supposed to be. Easily counterable by Infinity Watch and others.
Yeah, but think about that. Why they may be counterable by, combinations of, some people use Kestrel. I just use Silver Surfer and Inhumans. And then, of course, Infinity Watch. That's if you have to use, and we just faced a team that had a ton of Infinity Watches, ton of the Heroes for Hire. So you kind of have to use those meta teams, and then you can't use those big teams for other things. So I'm a little worried about War if people now are going to actually care about Heroes for Hire simply because of the changes for the Gamma Raid and allowing them wherever defenders were being allowed. I'm a little worried about War.
Yeah, so we're supposed to be flooded with all this material. We talked about this maybe the last time we recorded, that it's really not to be just spent willy-nilly, but I feel like these 2 are worth it for having a solid defense and then fringe benefits from that Gamma Raid. Now, Colleen is 4 stars, so that's a problem. But one day she'll be 5. She's not farmable, right?
The far future of 2024.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have been, like we said, busy a lot, and it's been hard for me to be at the time for Arena. So I have been slacking there. The lazy man approach, holding around the top 20 or so. But today I decided enough. I'm going to see. And I was able to get rank 1 from 33 that I started. So I did have to spend some cores to get there. But still can punch up the matchup with Infinity Watch. I kind of have it figured out. So rank 1 again. That's good. Another thing that I wanted to talk about here really quickly is Red Star promotion. So, the only one that I've debated about is Gamora to 7 gold. You need 7 red means 150 gold promotions. And a lot of people say that it's better to do 2 6, right? As
Mm-hmm.
opposed to 1 7. So Silver Surfer would be my only candidate, but it's gonna take, what did I say?
Yeah.
Like 5 months or something to get the shards
Well, that's
from.
if we're not going to have it for 5 more months, right? We're only going to have it for 15 seasons. We're already more than halfway through, so you're not gonna have that opportunity.
So yeah, so whenever he becomes farmable in the worst store you can imagine, um, or the premium or whatever they do, and I get him to 6, he's a candidate. Other than that, there's nothing. However, does she really benefit much from what she already does by going to 7? I don't know.
I mean, it's 15% more damage, and that's. I mean, I still remember doing Black Bolt, and seeing what he did for 7 versus 6, and there were nodes that made it help more. Made things easier in the raid. 15% damage is a lot, particularly
Yeah.
with these OP characters, which it's. I mean, that's heads above anybody else, but I don't know. I mean, I struggle with that. We took Thanos, we took Black Bolt, and those are the only two that I've ever taken
Hmm.
to 7. Of course, I've never gotten any 7 yellow stars from orbs, but that's a different topic.
I got my Hulk. He's still there at 7 reds. Regular Hulk. So that was cool. The only one I've ever gotten. But what do you think? I keep debating and talking myself out of it. So
Yeah, at this point, I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it takes many months to earn enough for 6, much less 7. So I would just sit on it. If you're really starting to struggle in arena,
mhm.
then talk about it. But she gets used a lot for sure. Use her in Doom Raid, use her in whatever version of Greek's running and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, but I hell this. I've seen it like 3 times, and I'm like, okay, this is the time I'm gonna do it, and then I'm not gonna do it. So that was it. Those are the upgrades. Nothing too exciting. I'm not dealing with. I got Sharon Carter to the parking lot and leaving her there. I have not unlocked Captain Sam, and not Maria Hill is not in the game yet, or is she? We'll talk about that in a bit.
yeah. So
So creative. What have you been up to with your fancy roster over there?
yeah, I've been continuing to enjoy slacking and Infinity Watch and in the joys of Blue ISO is really what I've been kind of working on. It of course has taken forever and a day to get. I think it took me 5 days to get one Brawler Resist Blue Crystal because the system is so awesome. And now I'm waiting on. It's another week plus for me to get. I think it's 9 crystals, so it's probably going to be like 3 weeks for me to do this. The system, I think we've said in the past, is just so bad. This RNG element, it's well past time for the 3rd and 4th chapters of the ISO campaigns to come out and those be farmable by nodes. This is just hellacious. I don't understand how they think this was a good idea. But we'll talk a little bit more in the conspiracy corner about that. You did mention the new orbs, the new milestone orbs, and I did want to give that. It's a very nice that they actually have character shards in there that we care about. The milestone orb that has been there for feels like a year has nothing in there that we cared about. So as in-game players, we had all of those characters at 7 yellow stars, and they weren't even the characters that people cared about. But this time we actually have a whole variety of characters, so this is nice. Plus, Emma actually showing up. So maybe in a year we can get her from 6 to 7 yellow stars. What else have I been doing? Well, we mentioned Gamma's coming, and you mentioned you're doing Heroes for Hire because they're coming into Gamma. For whatever reason, they only do one one tag change per every 6 months, and it's characters that we don't really care about with Pimtech and now Heroes for Hire. But we're talking as an alliance going to the dreaded Gamma difficulty 3,
Oof.
which, you and I are in the middle, which means a bunch of characters that are not OP. So I'm hoping Maria comes out pretty soon. We've got her Blitz this coming week. Maybe I can get her up and help with the shield nodes. I don't know what I'm going to do for those middle nodes. I do not have heroes for hire that high. I don't have defenders that high. Typically, I've got the Hydra nodes, and Zemo just carried me. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. But I have been getting Black Widow and Hawkeye up much higher so that I can rely on them to get through the first set of nodes and then the second or third set of nodes. So that's the other thing I've been doing, keeping the spending to about $1 million, $1.5 million most days. I think another it's very nice is that we have achieved the highest raid season milestone, which is, I'm just shocked and amazed, but we have been consistently getting to upper 80s to 90. We've even done 100% on Doom, and Frid turned on the beast mode. He didn't even want to talk about this, but he needs to brag. It's been so long. 100%. He had what? You had over 100 million in damage.
102 million damage.
Whew. So you ended up doing like every one of the boss nodes and everything else, but full on beast mode. But I am feeling much more comfortable with the Doom raid. I've shown you the video, even though you haven't been able to master it as of yet. The tech boss, I'm one-shotting. The skill boss, I have to be like really focused and no distractions. I can one-shot that. Bio to me is still a big problem child. I cannot get anywhere close to one-shotting that, so I've got to talk to the Alliance members about that, check out some videos or something like that. But overall, feeling much better about Doom, more confident there.
Which is your baby node that you have?
Mutants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I one-shot the techno, but it's not as fast. I need to diagnose where maybe it's the playstyle or some character is not as powerful. I don't know what it is. I can do it. I mean, it's fine. It's just not as quick as you make it sound.
Yeah, so there's a YouTube video out there that I put, One Shot Perfection or something like that, of the tech boss. The key tactic, and so let me talk about my characters. I've got Doom, of course. Nebula was there for cannon fodder originally, but now she's doing quite a bit because she's so high for arena. Ghost, which high for DD4, and Kestrel, of course, and I'm blanking on the last one. Oh, Doc Ock. So the key tactic that I find is one is you have to get Doom down as quickly as possible, just because he's a problem character. But the biggest thing is for your Doom, you can do the ults to get the speed up and get all the bots out there, but do not do the special, which is the big AoE, until the second wave fully drops. And so that really makes things go super, super fast. And it's all about getting the defense down and then going to town on Doom and then proceeding, around. But once that second wave drops, you do the big AoE from Doom, and that clears it out, and you're down to the last one. So pretty. I mean, there's times when I lose Nebula and Ghost, but generally speaking, I one-shot that fairly comfortably. So I think that's about it. I do want to take Maria Hill up fairly high, just because, one, she's a support. I like healers, I like support. And then two, I think she'll help with the Gamma nodes a little bit. And then I've always had shield. The one that fires back. I can't remember. I picture
Trooper.
Trooper. I've had shield Trooper leveled to like 45k or something forever. So maybe I can get some value out of him in Blitz or something.
And she summons some of those guys, right?
Yeah, she summons a bunch of them, and it has some interesting stuff going on for sure. But I will be, skipping Carter, skipping Sam. Thanks again to Scopely for making that choice easy. A 2-star Sam isn't going to do anything for me. We did see videos. I think Reminex posted some videos of a 5 yellow and red star Sam destroying, added to the Infinity Watch in place of Adam Warlock, and basically making the fight super easy. They just get so much speed from him, and then they clear even faster. So if you want to spend money, you can certainly use the character. Certainly looks like a strong character. We'll talk some more about him, though, in the bugs. All right, well, with that, let's talk about some numbers. And so one of the things that I wanted to look at is there was a special event the other week. We get 2x gold from campaign notes, which I thought, oh, that's nice, but how much are you really getting? Because, I have no idea how much gold I'm really getting from nodes, and it changes from time to time because I farm different things. So I sat down and said, okay, what am I farming? And how much gold am I getting on a daily basis? And then in turn, what is 2x really getting us over the course of that day and then over the course of a month? And this is in the vein of the same conversation what we had the other week, where we were told we're going to get 8 million more gold, but really it's only 4. And the fact that we're actually losing significant gold when you compare that prices are going up as we may have a higher level cap, a higher gear level, etc. And so I am farming Beast, Iceman, Yelena, Polaris, and multiple bands. This is probably the most characters I've ever farmed at a time, but that's 5 characters. And then I do at least 3, maybe 4 nodes to get the orange focus catalysts, and then 2 nodes for the health catalysts. And I added it all up, and that gets me a grand total of 243,000 gold per day. And so 2 times that is 486,000. So I said, okay, extra 240,000, that seems interesting. What is that really going to get us over the course of 30 days? And that is 7.3 million, which is still, enough for one character to get not even to 80, that to get to 75, or so. So to me, I don't understand why we don't have 2x to begin with. The offering of, 4 million that we're going to get now and later on, we really do probably need more. You and I are advanced planners, but the vast majority of the player base has been screaming, we need more gold. And all I know is I still go back to 2 summers ago where they, gave a login calendar for 30 days or 20 days of, tons of gold. And people said this is the most fun I've ever had in the game because I actually could do things. So I don't understand, why everything has to be a constraint in this game. I don't understand the over monetization, but I thought I'd just run those numbers by the audience and make a plea for a 2x every day to make that a more consistent thing.
Yeah, so they could literally double the goal and it doesn't even do anything in terms of progression, right?
Exactly.
Especially with what's coming in the future.
Yep.
I did want to add one quick thing here. It's just the gold made me think about it. The milestones were updated so that you can go now to 4 million gold. But did you see what they,
you get a
what
whole
they put
free
in
training mats or whatever the heck it was.
After 2.7, you keep spending and you get like 1,000 ions, green ions, and like 5 training materials.
Yeah, 5 purple training mats, 2,000 ions, because that's going to go far. And then my favorite is the 50 fragments
Armory 15.
Of the Armor 15 orbs. So, I mean, we're not spending above that. I am actually somewhat pleased that it's not encouraging people to spend that much on a regular basis. But at the same time, we've talked about, the previous milestone orb and how worthless it is and how many of the purple blitz orbs we have. So, at least you're getting something, I guess. But at the end of the day, when the next Infinity Watch comes along, the next Doom comes along, I won't have any qualms about going over even that 4 million to do what I need to do to be relevant in Arena or whatever.
Yeah, and since we're in the topic, don't forget that the milestone old school orb is going away, so make sure you open all of those. There's no reason to keep them anymore. They're going to disappear.
Yep, can't convert them, unfortunately. It's not how their code works, I guess. But, God forbid we actually, could use something. But anyway, so we've actually already brokered into the news.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
Quite a bit with, we talked about the Gamma, we talked about the new milestone orbs and a few other things. One of the things that, I think the MSFGG guys were on vacation when the new patch came out. Maria Hill, Cap Sam, and Sharon Carter went to the game. But I did want to cover their uniques. And so Maria Hill is Shield Tech. Cap Sam is Vibranium. And Sharon Carter is Titanium. And I thought, crikey. All of these are ones that players need already. You need Shield Tech for Kestrel. For Vibranium, Shuri or Captain America are probably really the only candidates for that. And then, of course, Titanium Alloy is everywhere. That's Doc Ock. That's Yo-Yo. I mean, it's like 5 decent characters. None of them beyond Doc Ock are meta now. But, I mean, can we just get a character that uses Carbonadium or Extremis? I mean, you gave us a bone with Bishop using the Judas Bullet, which is awesome. But the next character needs to use Carbonadium or Extremis. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get that because we've got, I forget the guy's name, Shang-Chi, and that movie coming out, so likely we'll get him, and I'm sure it'll be something mystic like Miasmas or the Arcane Magics or something, which will stink. But let's make a plea for Carbonadium or Extremis, because we're not using those anytime soon.
So there was one. I know you didn't do anything to her, but Misty Knight is actually Extremis. So there is that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So.
But that was it. Carbonadium has been forever.
Yeah, I mean, you
like
certainly had
Star-Lord,
Star-Lord and Falcon. We used in Arena forever ago, but since then, neither one. Okay. What else? So there was a couple other things that got no press whatsoever, which was a bit surprising to me, but I think it's Scopely acquiescing to the player base without acknowledging the acquiescence, and that is PvP. They made some modifications secretly to the objectives. The trait-specific items went down from 30 attacks down to 20. These are the daily items. Mm-hmm. And then, and I think this is just a factor of what was going on with PvP. It really is going on. That is, these OP characters, you don't get off 2 rounds of attacks. You get off 1, maybe 2, rounds of attacks. So you're barely getting any attacks off per win or per match. So this is a very positive thing. Also, a lot of people are still very upset about the note. And then the other one was that the weekly hero or villain has come down from 500 to 400, which I've actually been struggling to hit that number because of the same problem as we mentioned before, that matches just do not last very long. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then the other item that we had talked about a little bit more in Discord and a little bit in the show was, PvP has become, use whatever OP team it is, hit auto. And it's just not fun for mid-game players or really anyone that doesn't have that OP character. So it was very interesting that Adam Warlock was banned last week. And now Gamora is banned. Jubilee and Silver Surfer have been banned for 2 weeks. So these are some pretty fast bans. I think Scopely pretty easily saw that everything was Infinity Watch and Kestrel and Silver Surfer, those types of things. So this is a good thing. I think I had proposed either in Discord or on the show, I can't remember which, that new characters shouldn't be in PvP mode, real-time arena, if you want to call it that, for X number of weeks or months, just to discourage the kind of ridiculousness that goes on there. I think that was kind of the wanted to cover there. Anything you want to cover there?
I still find that this is a mode with no purpose, right? It's just another thing that they want us to do, but there's no reason. And you have those other tabs, what is it, event or leagues or whatever, that haven't been turned on, because I think they just don't know what to do with this. And it's Blitz 2.0, right? Basically, without the sim.
Yeah, it's it has a clear purpose, and that's to keep you in the game, and that's their biggest metric, is they want you in the game for as long as possible and have no life. This one is strange. Again, it had so much potential, but also had some very big warning signs when we had to do the draft mode and all this. So I don't know what to do with this mode. I could easily not care about it if it didn't give us ions and training mats and all that. But we take in the OP character, you play a little bit, and then you hit auto. So I don't know. What else in the news? Well, this last blog post really didn't have anything terribly exciting in it, especially for us. The only bit of news was more ability. T4s are coming your way. So, of course we thought, oh, this is awesome. They're finally going to remove the constraints. We're going to have block party, at least once a month and other things. And no.
Not so fast, sir.
Not so fast, Creative. So you're going to get 5 to 40 more T4s over the course of a raid season and get these through raid. And so over 2 weeks, you're going to get 40. So over the course of 3 raid seasons or 6 weeks, you can get 1 additional ability. So again, this one to me, it's the usual, hey, here's they pretend this is an olive branch and offer us something, but it's just too little for us to really give a whoopee, anything about. So this one was just very strange to me.
It seems to continue to be one of the most overvalued things that they protect, right? Like they sell them very expensively. They're so protective about these T4s.
And then they keep introducing teams that need 10 of these. So it's very strange for sure.
And then we'll get into some more danger ahead with this T4 stuff. But they need to loosen this up if they were going to push this even further.
Yep. So I think that's
Anything
it for
else?
I had for the news. Anything else you want to throw in?
No, I think we can roll right into bringing this back for the week. The bug report, and I guess it's 2 weeks, right? But most recent one coming in the way of a character release. So yet finding a new way to bug something. Maria Hill was released, and she was on the red orb, right?
Yes.
Just for you, I suppose, because I never saw her. You're like, oh yeah, I got her straight up. Was it your record? Like
it's record 1 red star, regular orb, and I got her 4 red star on her too.
And I was like, you're messing. When I got it, I'm like, you're messing with me. She's not even in there. There was no message. She's not in the orb. And you're like, oh no, she was.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully we had some guys in our alliance say, oh, by the way, if you hadn't noticed, Maria's in the red star orb. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went and opened a couple, or opened the one, and got her there. But so red stars before she's even available. And of course, they're still doing the usual, the new game of releasing a character for a ridiculous amount of cores in the supply store. But yes, right. So that's not all, though. Keep going, Fred. What else is related to Maria?
There were crazy people that spend the cores, right? What is it that you need?
8,000.
It's some crazy, absurd number.
Yeah, 8,000.
It's like $100 worth of cores to unlock her, and then they noticed something interesting, and that is that one of her abilities is that you're clearing all negative effects from self and all Avenger and skill allies, which is awesome. You like support people, you like cleansers, healers. However, Avengers get cleansed, but if you're just skill, too bad. You're not getting cleansed. So the ability is written in a way that doesn't work. So here we are, another character with a bug that could have been easily. This one seems easy to test, right? If you have 2 packs, you're like, okay, let's see if it cleanses the skill. Oh, wait. Somebody forgot to put that in.
Considering the characters that she is being released with are not well, Sam is an Avenger, but Sharon Carter is not an Avenger. So, you're... Oh, no, she is. They're both secret Avengers and Avengers. So
I think they're both are, but
yeah.
Just...
use the character where she would actually be used, Gamma and Doom, but anyway, I digress.
Well, I don't know if they've acknowledged this one because she's not even technically. Well, she's released, right? So there is a bug, but more to come there. And then another one that has to do with a character, and this has been here for a while. It's Phyla. She seems to be bugged, but it's actually in the favor of the player. So I'm assuming this one will get cleaned up pretty quickly, and that is that she's supposed to give drain when other Infinity Watch have death proof, but she's given drain to any other bio characters, it seems, and this was demonstrated with Call Obsidian by various content creators, where now Call Obsidian gets drain. So you're like, well, in a raid, that'd be awesome, right? And when he does some kind of big attack, he gets healed back. So we're assuming this one will get cleaned up quickly because it benefits the player if you have not discovered this. But have you tried Call Obsidian on any Doom raid or something like that to see if you could get some use out of him?
Oddly enough, as a general statement, the answer is obvious, is a absolute no. But one time I got stuck waiting for one of my lane partners to come finish off the bio node, and they just didn't, weren't around or weren't available. So I went ahead and took in my leftovers, which is, of course, Cole and Black Bolt and Phyla, and they did fantastic. So now we know why.
Yeah, Cole was like getting
Cole's
back.
whacking away. Yeah, so yeah.
It's yet another one. So I think there's a few more that you wanted to cover, Creative.
Yeah, I mean, this one I think enough people have probably seen the official communications, but Captain Sam had none of his abilities that worked as intended or as were listed in the game. And I've liked watching Boylon lately. He gets really, really fired up. He's getting very, very salty these days, and he did a whole video on it, showing the original blog post, showing current in-game text and MSFGG, and then the actual character activities. And so nothing in his kit is actually working as designed. The biggest one to me is the speed mechanic. And I forget which one of his abilities, but it's a ripoff of what Falcon does in a sense. And it was supposed to get speed from every character that he hits. Instead, he gets speed from whoever's left over. So that's a pretty big difference depending upon what's going on. But, if you're using him in that arena formation, nothing's going to die so that you get the full speed. But, that one's just very, very disappointing. We're seeing yet again, every character release has some sort of bug. So again, thank you, Scopely, for making some of these decisions very easy. The other one to me, this patch, one of the big fixes was they were going to fix all of the vulnerables and ISO attacks associated with Infinity Watch. And yeah, no. That wasn't fixed. So I still see every time Gamora does her special, which I have to do if she goes second, to get, or if my Nebula goes first, I think, and then the other team has all the evades, you use Gamora's special. She does her special, there's vulnerable applied, and nothing happens. So she still does not do her attacks after the special ISO skirmisher striker thing. And then I see it throughout the match at least once or twice on random other abilities. And in that same vein, I've been using Moondragon quite a bit in Doom and now in the beta raid. And she does not get charged, the charge mechanic, at least in the beta raid. So for whatever reason, I don't know where it comes from. I need to probably read this up before I say anything. But she never gets the charge mechanic. And does the mind control in her basic for whatever reason. So I'll go read that one, but I keep following. So every time I play, there's some sort of bug. It's just comical at this stage.
Yep, that's par for the course, I guess. That's the stuff we wanted to cover. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff.
Oh yeah, I stopped writing the list because I found it depressing. But we'll start it again. We'll do it maybe once a month, just because it's getting a little ridiculous. Okay. Yep. Well, with that, we want to switch gears to Conspiracy Corner. And Frid, you've had one that we just hadn't had the chance to talk about. I want you to talk about this one.
It's with all the what was it, the event, the Black Widow stuff. Yeah, I was doing a lot of straight up what I call blind blitzing, right? Which means I do not care about anything. I will hit the sequence of buttons to get the match, so move my team, find opponent, and hit battle. and do that over and over again like a robot, right? I'm not looking, I don't care. But what I started noticing is a lot of losing and not getting like all of a sudden I'm like rank 6 or 5. Like what's going on here? Like I don't understand. Like didn't used to happen. So I started to pay some attention to what was going on, and every time I noticed that first team, it's a full synergy team. You're talking, Black Order, Infinity Watch, Symbiote, all these things that if you have one of these mixed teams that maybe has a big character and can carry you, these synergy teams can beat you. So I don't remember this being that way, especially at the lower levels, but it seems to be very consistently now that you have to look closely or just move away from that first team that you get offered and then go to the second team and then hit that. So there's another click just because they couldn't just let me have my blind blitzing. I mean, it's to the point where if I'm taking this is really bad, but taking my daughter to a function or something and the timer goes off, I'm like, oh, you got to run a blitz. And she already knows all the buttons. She's like, I don't care what you see, just do it. But now with this whole first offering, it's not working as well. So what do you think, Creative, about this one? Have you seen it? Is this something you noticed?
Yeah, I said, oh, yeah, I never do the first team. I always do the second team.
It's like, oh, my God. Can you just make it annoying for the sake of it? Okay, that's just strange. I think you have one too here, Creative, that you want to share.
Yeah, so I mentioned we talk about the blue ISO orbs as part of Conspiracy Corner because I'm pretty sure you've dealt with this, and I'm pretty sure everyone's dealt with this because the game is intentionally coded to not give you the one you want. And so, yet again, you were trying to do Infinity Watch, trying to get whatever it is, support, resist. Whatever you do, do not click on support resist. Go click on the one you already have, the armor one, and then do the find and use the orb. I guarantee you will not get that one. You will get something else. It is like comically coded that it never gives you the one you actually do the find button on. I know you have a 1 in 5 chance, but we're getting at least 3 of these orbs a day. And I do testing of this, and I click, do the same one 3 times, and you never get that one. You get other ones. So, yet again, this is a more predatory, crappy coding. And again, this blue ISO system is horrific. I can't believe they think this is okay. The fact that they haven't even addressed it beyond saying, well, now you'll get more or whatever. So, but that one I just had to share. Whatever you're doing, whatever you need to find one that you already have a lot of, and then use that to do the opening of the orb. All right, Fritz. So, I'm okay doing a little bit longer show since we've been away from our listeners for a while. There's one thing I thought for comical value that we should talk about, and so it has not been subtly hinted. It is kind of in your face that DD5 and Tier 16 are coming soon.
Well, that sounds to me like just saying those words give you the heebie-jeebies.
I'm breaking out in hives. I'm going to have to go get some Benadryl.
Because this is not for you. Dark Dimension has never been your cup of tea. You really hate the mode. They knocked it out of the park with you on DD3.
Oh, yeah.
And then some of the nodes in DD4 were just miserable.
I think they really go, okay, do you think we can get Creative to quit? And if we do this? Oh, yeah, let's do that.
My goodness. So, what are some of the things you think they're going to do to make this a more miserable experience for you?
Yeah, so we know that they've already decided, let's add yet more traits to the character. So we added legendary this time around. So instead of 4 teams, you needed 5 sets of teams. They, of course, made it so you couldn't take 1 character and you have to take in 4. So they've gone overboard on that. And then now they're hard-coding character abilities so that, whatever OP mechanic, like JJ doing her special or Emma doing her ult every time is happening every turn. Because, that seems fair. because you only have to, fight 50 characters versus your 5. So let's just, let's make it a little more balanced, for the AI. So I was thinking, I think they're going to go forward with even more tags. They're going to go, instead of just global, city, and cosmic, they're going to go city, but left-handed. And they're not going to tell you who's actually left-handed. So you have to level up the characters and see if you can actually get into the node.
Then you don't see it pop in. You're like, oh, God, that wasn't one. So who's a lefty? We don't know.
We don't even know. So there you go. Just guess. Spend a whole bunch of money and load, things up. So yeah. So the other one is beyond left-handed player or left-handed. They're also going to add in team tags. So you're going to have to level up not only Cosmic, but Cosmic Ravager to take into DD4 or DD5, because that seems legit. But,
yeah, so DD5 will be Ravagers, Hand, Wakanda, and some of those
really awesome teams. Yeah, some of those.
That they haven't done that. I mean, they have in some of the raids, but
right.
Wouldn't put it past them.
So Fred, how else do you think they're gonna torture me?
Let me see. What else do we have? The gear requirements?
Well, we know they're gonna make T15 the requirement, of course.
Where are they gonna put that though? That may be.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Well, you know where it's going. It's gonna go to the war store and the supply store, and that's it.
I thought it was part of the Doom. I don't even know anymore where they're gonna put this red gear, but
yeah.
Think about the bottleneck that they haven't fixed, which everybody's talking about, is the orange unique, right, from 13.
Oh yeah, if they have that again, I will probably actually physically throw up. If they have, now you need 50 of the unique instead of 25.
It was 12, 24, 25. It's hints at 26, but they may just say, yeah, let's make it 50, and then that's the end of that. They must be selling so many of those. It's gotta be.
But those are even like the worst offers yet. It's like, here for $25 you get 10 of them, and it's random.
I've only done it one time for Black Bolt, and I feel disgusted to do it.
Shower after that.
I know, the quantum energy, $10 for 10.
Oh, okay.
God, I can't believe I did that, but it's like the least value. But I had to get him to what I think it was just 13. It may have been 14 at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's put a comment out to our listeners. Stop by Discord. Tell us how you think that they will make DD5 even more painful for me, creative. So stop by. Tell us what you think about that. Okay. And then I always want to keep covering some other things outside of Marvel Strike Force. And so, Fred, I wanted to talk about two things. We had the Loki show, which we'll probably cover some spoilers. So if you haven't seen the show, we'll talk just very briefly about that. But it's more of a comparison about the show. And then I want to give another quick update on Marvel Future Revolution. So first and foremost, Fred, you have seen the final episode of the Loki Disney Plus show, correct?
I did. We completed that pretty quickly. So.
Okay. And so, this was only 6 episodes, which feels, light comparative to Netflix and its usual 8 to 10. But wanted to just get your opinion. We don't have to go into the depth of the shows, but, we've had WandaVision, we had Falcon, Winter Soldier, and now Loki. Which of those did you like the best?
Oh, goodness. Wow.
They're very different shows, obviously.
Yeah, they're very different. And I think WandaVision, because it was the first that we had for so long, and it was this weird thing that we didn't know what it was. Even though kind of the payoff was sort of weird, it probably is the one that I like the best from this set of 3.
Okay. I found all of the endings a little bit of a letdown. It's always hard to end a show, but I found all of them a little bit of a letdown. I really liked the Loki show quite a bit more. The WandaVision, it just took so long to get going, and even then when it finished, it was just, very strange that just, all of that had happened, got wiped away, and was erased. So that was just very strange. But I really like the Loki show probably the best. And I told you the other day, I don't even like the Loki character. I find him very annoying in most of the shows, except for the Thor Ragnarok, the Get Help. I don't know if you remember that. It was like, we're not doing Get Help. And they're trying to steal the ship, and he throws him. Anyway. But I really latched onto this one. I don't know what it was about it, but I found it kind of the most interesting because it's also content that I had no clue about, the TVA and King and this other stuff. So
I was gonna say that it's probably harder than the other two by a lot to execute, and I thought they did a great job with that. Whenever something crazy like this that's from the comics, right? But you're trying to bring to film or TV, it's always a big risk, right? That's why those cosmic movies or Thor could really flop because it's so out there. You're like, okay, this is totally ridiculous. But I thought they handled it really well. The whole thing with and anytime there's time travel and stuff, it's just that could go off the rails quickly. But I really enjoy how they did it. But it's there were some filler episodes too that felt like they dragged on. I'm like, what was the point of this? What was it? The one they were looking for some batteries or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that was all. It was really all about the last 2 minutes or whatever.
Right, like it's just the whole episode dragged on. But
okay, fair enough.
I do like Loki, the character. I know you didn't, but I've always liked him, so I enjoyed seeing him.
Okay.
What else did you like from Loki?
I did really like Owen Wilson as Mobius.
Oh, yeah.
He plays his same character he always plays. Oh, shucks, kind of thing. But I really did like Sylvie as well. I thought that was pretty cool. And then, of course, the Lokis towards the end of the series were pretty funny. So, okay. Now, we also, anything else you want to talk about on those three shows?
No, I think, Falcon and the Winter Soldier kind of get the shaft when it comes to this, but they're the most, that's the most standard, there was nothing
absolutely
new. It's just kind of solid. It wasn't bad, but you're like, okay. That was, my daughter really liked the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's a huge fan of Captain Sam now.
Okay.
So she's all excited about that character and hoping he gets his own movie shortly, which I'm sure will happen.
Yep. Okay. And then, we both have not had the opportunity to watch the Black Widow movie. We with everything going on, we keep talking about we need to do it.
I actually did.
You watched it without me.
I did betray you. We one of these
our traditions.
Nights, we were like, we have to. We did it Disney Plus style. So.
Okay.
But we could watch it again for sure once we're more settled here. Okay. I think we should do that. Just to see what you think, but we'll figure it out.
And I don't, again, no spoilers here, but did you like it?
It's a good movie. Yeah, I liked it, but there's something that makes it go down a little bit. That it's hard to stick landings, but
sure.
It's a good movie overall. I really enjoy the characters, and there's some real standouts in there.
Okay.
So,
fair enough.
We'll figure it out so that you can get the experience too.
All right. And then to close out the show, I did want to keep talking about Marvel Future Revolution. I know you've not had the opportunity to play much. I did hit, before I went on vacation, level 100.
Oof.
So, that was... a bit of a grind.
We're serious about going all in on these.
I tell you, I don't know when to quit. I go all in. So, one bit of warning is when you hit level 100, all of a sudden you need a whole lot of gold. You can level all of your abilities 5 more times or 3 more times, something like that. But so you need every ability. You level up quite a bit, and of course it gets more expensive as it goes. So that was very interesting. I have not had the opportunity yet to finish the last boss fight. You fight Ares, and then you fight Maestro, or whatever his name is, which is basically Hulk, or Hulk-like guy. You got to do those back to back, and I just kept screwing it up and didn't have time. So I do want to see what the Dark Zone is. I watched some videos. It's basically like this massive open area with crazy boss level guys. So there's some videos out there going through that content, and it feels very MMO-ish of the big raid type thing where you go in with your alliance and you have to fight some pretty heavy stuff. I will say, there have been some good videos by a guy named Darth Microtransaction. He goes by DM Marvel Future Revolution, calling out some things that are problematic in the game that need to be fixed. One of which was the Omega cards, and that they're character specific attributes that you can't reroll, and some other things. But that was a good video, and to me, I see a massive issue in terms of those cards. Everything is RNG. Everything's RNG with the armor that you get. So those, and I saw a video of a guy spending $200 on Omega cards, and he got nothing that would give him an upgrade to his account. I think he'd already spent some money. He was already pretty in-game, but can you imagine spending $200 and getting nothing? So that was another one of the call-outs by Darth, that there's no pity mechanic, and to go back to the old school Hearthstone, where everything was RNG based, and people got fed up that you would spend all kinds of money on packs and you would get no legendaries. So every X number of openings you would get something. So I think that's something that needs some good thing there. And then continually hitting the squad ranked toll gates is really frustrating, but everything that I see is about you have to level every one of the characters because everything is like your squad rank. So that, I think, is going to be a bit odd. A lot of people really like a particular character and want to play that. And considering that your squad rank gives significantly more bonuses than the gear or the tokens or other things, that is a bit odd, certainly. But it encourages you to play more. But I don't know a lot of people that want to level 8 characters to 100, so that's a bit strange. I think they need to take a look at that, but I'm still enjoying the game.
So let me ask you a couple things. What did you follow the story, or did you care about it, or was it a mess? Did it make sense? Like, no spoilers, but just curious, what did you think?
I read a lot of the story because it's all a lot of the main storyline has a lot of voice acting. It's just too slow. And there's quest after quest after quest. So I listened to it for the first 10 levels, and then read a lot of it up to like level 50, and then started skipping a little bit more. I still don't know what actually caused the convergence. I'm still not really clear how the in-game boss came into play, because you're just so much text. So I've skipped all that. But I mean, as a general statement, I think it's interesting that you go from different area to different area. It's not true open world. It's really kind of areas that you go into. But it's interesting. The boss fights are still very challenging, and again, I still like the game. And
you play this type of game. What does this end game look like, and where do you think they're gonna take it? Because that's ultimately right. You're rank 100. You can't rank up anymore. You can't do squad rank. But what does that look like then?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's really this Dark Zone stuff, which is kind of it's a big map with crazy high health, high damage bosses, or even normal characters that you have to run through and do like a raid, like those who are familiar with some of the MMO type things. So that certainly appears to be the current in game, if you will. Doing the blitz, the hardest blitz at level 100, doing Maestro, whatever his name is, that's pretty darn challenging if you're doing it random. So there's still quite a bit of things that you do on a daily basis from a PvE standpoint in those areas. From a PvP perspective, the dueling you can play forever. So that one to me still has a lot of legs. I find that fun. The Omega War. Another thing that's out there for that, you have to grind. There is no way to purchase, I think, any of the PvP specific tokens and gear items. So you really have to grind for that. The other thing is the specialization, which I've barely touched. And so there is system after system after system. I think I'm up to like 10 different systems, whether it be, first it's gear, then it's skills, then it's these tokens, then it's omega cards, then it's I can't even proficiencies or something like that. Then it's specializations.
There's a potential.
That's what a potential.
Yeah.
And then finally specializations. And that one, it looks to be, and that's the other big thing, is it looks to be very punishing. If you make the wrong decision, there's no way to back it out. So there's a lot of punishing mechanics that I see. It reminds me of like the early days of Diablo 2, where you level up a character and you accidentally clicked one of the items in the skill tree, and there's no way to reverse it and reset. So, World of Warcraft didn't have that for a long time. A lot of games don't have that till later on, but it appears to be very punishing if you're not knowing what you're doing. So some of your initial reaction of waiting on picking what you're going to do as it relates to some of those mechanics is certainly a good thing till you get further along and you really like a character.
Does the Dark Zone is like the Greater Rifts from Diablo 3 or different? Is that like that?
No, I mean, those Greater Rifts kept going higher and higher in terms of level. This is really just another area that you go to, but it's filled with really high stat bosses and characters, since you have to go from one to the other. So it's really weird. You can only go in for an hour. You have to kill as much stuff as you can. You can't solo it. You have to go in with a party. You actually can do PvP in it, and there seems to be some bugs in and around that, where like you can say you don't want to do PvP and you just go after others. But it's basically just an open map with a whole bunch of heavy boss guys, and you got to go in and fight. I saw a video where I think they fought Maestro for 20 minutes. So that felt very much like some of the crazy raids of the WoW days, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, once I'm kind of settled in and back to, I may keep trying it. I was enjoying what I was doing, but I'm not as deep into it as you are. So.
Sure. Yep. And so I do think that there's some elements that we could talk about here more than just kind of general tips and tricks. I mean, there's certainly, you get gold, you need a lot of gold. We can do some numbers there if we really want to go that direction. But right now, let's just see where the game goes. I know some people that are playing Marvel Strike Force are playing the game. Others have quit Marvel Strike Force and are playing the game. So, if you're interested in talking about that, maybe I'll create a specific channel. I think I already have, but maybe some specific channels for different things. But there's a lot of Kraken Whale guys out there that produce some interesting videos. But, we do need a lot more information before this goes public in 2 months. I mean, we still don't even know what the stats do and some of that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But, I'm enjoying it thus far.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty polished and fleshed out game for a, beta, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you think about what we're getting on a monthly basis versus a game that's fully fleshed out. I mean, certainly there's bugs, but for a soft launch, for it to be where it is, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very nice. Well, we'll keep reporting on it as we get deeper into it. Now you're way ahead of me now, so I'll just need to play some catch up, and hopefully I can learn from whatever mistakes you made with cards and gear. So
yep.
I'll need another tutorial.
Yeah, I'll definitely share some for you and for our listeners next week. Definitely some very painful things if you make some mistakes early on.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
No, so if you want to continue the conversation for Strike Force or Future Revolution, you can find us on our Discord server, which will be linked on the show notes. So come hang out. Like we said, a couple of weeks that we were a little bit not as active, we're back. So come chat with us. A lot of people in there having some good discussions. You can leave us a review. What was the person's name? Like DQ Photo did. And remember, that helps our visibility so that we can be found. We're also on Twitter. What else? We don't tweet, but we are out there.
We automatically tweet when we publish the show.
That's right. Those are our tweets. But the Discord is the best way if you really want to come talk to us. So.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy.
We'll talk next week.